Hello, all. Hope you're doing well today. Hey, we are embarking on part two of our basic management theories and perspectives. We're going to talk more about the theorists and theories in this session. So, here we go. So, we're starting out here talking more about the process theories and the theorists that created those theories. This is part one. Here we go. One of the most influential thinkers in economics and management was Adam Smith. His groundbreaking work, The Wealth of Nations, in 1776, laid the foundation for modern economics and introduced critical ideas about resource allocation and the division of labor, which continue to shape our understanding of business, management, and economic systems today. So if we talk about the theory of allocation of resources, just to give an overview, it is in a competitive market, the owners of resources, be they capital, human skills, or natural resources, will naturally seek to utilize these assets in the most profitable way. So with that, encouraging innovation and efficiency as owners strive to maximize returns supports the idea that free market competition leads to optimal allocation of resources. So allocating human resources efficiently, such as assigning coaches or players based on their specialized skills, leveraging natural and financial resources, such as choosing the best location for a new stadium to maximize profitability and accessibility. As far as division of labor is concerned, that refers to the separation of tasks within a system, enabling individuals or teams to specialize in specific areas. So specialization in the general sense, as workers or departments focus on what they do best, enhancing their expertise. And with increased efficiency, so time is saved by reducing the need for multitasking. And there's higher productivity with specialized tasks that leads to faster output. And with that, improved quality. So expertise often results in better quality products or services. Now, in sport management, division of labor and event planning means assigning security, ticketing, concessions, and operations to specialized teams. Now, specialization within the teams, the coaches focus on specific skills such as offense, defense, or conditioning to improve overall team performance. Adam Smith illustrated the division of labor with the example of a pen factory. Instead of one worker making an entire pen, breaking the process into smaller tasks such as drawing the wire, cutting and shaping, allowed the factory to produce thousands of pens per day. Now, in sport management, a stadium team specializes in areas such as fan engagement, marketing, maintenance, and vendor coordination to ensure smooth operations. Within a sports team, players specialize in their different roles, such as quarterback versus lineman in football, to increase efficiency and performance. Say's law, also known as the law of markets, is a concept that was formulated by the French economist Jean-Baptiste Say in the early 19th century. And it is a fundamental principle in economics, has significant implications for sport management and business development. So what is Say's law? It's often summarized by the statement, supply creates its own demand. In simpler terms, it suggests that the production of goods and services inherently creates a market for other goods and services. This principle was originally meant to explain that the act of producing something leads to an increased ability to purchase other goods in the economy. A key quote from Say himself is, a product is no sooner created than it, from that instance, affords a market for other products to the full extent of its own value. To understand this better, think about a business that creates a new product. The creation of that product doesn't just satisfy the immediate demand for the item itself, but it also generates additional demand for complementary goods or services. For example, if a company creates a new sport equipment line, it not only generates demand for the equipment, but also for the services like maintenance, advertising, and even related apparel. In essence, the act of production itself drives further economic activity, which creates a kind of positive feedback loop. If you build it, they will come. I'm sure that many of you are familiar with that famous quote from the film from the movie Field of Dreams. It captures the essence of Say's law. It suggests that once you create a product or service, demand will follow. In the world of sports management, this can be seen in the development of new sports facilities, stadiums, or even the creation of new sports leagues. Once you build a state-of-the-art complex, for example, you're not just creating a venue for events, you're also indirectly creating a demand for event management services, food vendors, security, and various other business opportunities. So what does Say's law mean for us as future sport managers? When you invest in developing a new sports facility, you're not just providing a space to host games, you're also opening opportunities for new businesses to emerge around that space, such as hotels, restaurants, and retail stores. Similarly, by launching a new sports league, you're creating a demand for coaches, merchandise, broadcast rights, and sponsorship opportunities. The same goes for events. Creating a major sporting event like the Super Bowl or the World Cup generates an entire ecosystem of products and services around it. Essentially, Say's law reminds us that the act of creating in the sports industry triggers a ripple effect that leads to more demand. As sport managers, we recognize this can help in strategic planning for new ventures. Now, of course, Say's law is not without its critics. One major criticism is that it assumes markets are always perfectly competitive and that there is no shortage of demand. In reality, consumer preferences, external factors like economic recessions and market saturation can prevent this demand creation from occurring automatically. For example, if a sports franchise opens a new stadium but fails to attract fans due to poor team performance or an oversaturated market, the demand may not materialize as expected. So, while Say's law works in theory, it's not always a guaranteed outcome in practice. Scientific management, developed by Frederick Taylor, focuses on improving productivity by analyzing workflows and identifying the most efficient methods for completing tasks. Taylor's core belief was that there is a best way to perform every task, which can be discovered, implemented, and refined using scientific principles. So develop a science for each task, break down tasks into smaller components, and optimize them for efficiency. An application of that, so analyzing training regimens, coaching strategies, or game day operations to maximize performance. For creating specific workout routines for athletes or refining game strategies based on data analysis. It could be choosing the right person for each role. So the second principle is scientifically select, train, and develop workers. You want to choose the right person for each role and provide tailored training. So you want the right fit. Select athletes based on their strengths, sprinters for speed events, and developing customized training plans. Similarly, hire and train coaches or staff to meet the specific needs of the team or the organization. The third principle is cooperation between managers and employees. So you want to foster collaboration to ensure tasks are executed efficiently and effectively. Encourage open communication between coaches and athletes. For instance, a coach can explain the reasoning behind a specific training program and empowering athletes to fully engage with the process. Equal division of work and responsibility. You want to balance responsibilities between management and workers to ensure accountability. Coaches and managers handle strategic planning while athletes focus on execution. Shared responsibility fosters accountability and investment in achieving team goals. So optimizing roles such as coaching and athlete development and event management is something that is very important. And the benefits associated with that are task specialization. You also have better athlete development. You're enhancing individual and team performance through tailored training and selection. Your collaboration, improving outcomes by aligning your staff with organizational goals. And efficiency, you want to minimize waste and maximize productivity in training, operations, and performance. So by applying Taylor's principles, sports organizations can improve efficiency, foster collaboration, and achieve sustained success. Management by Objectives, or MBO, was introduced by Peter Drucker. It focuses on setting specific measurable goals to align individual and organizational performance. This approach fosters collaboration between managers and employees, ensuring clarity, motivation, and enhanced outcomes. So, key applications with goal setting, ideally, it should be defined SMART. So, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals, such as improving team performance or increasing fan engagement. There should be assigned roles that align with organizational objectives, ensuring clarity for coaches, players, and support staff. And monitoring your progress. So regularly tracking, and providing feedback on objectives such as player fitness metrics or marketing engagement benchmarks. And evaluation. So assess individual and team achievements to recognize success and identify areas for improvement by aligning individual contributions with broader organizational goals. MBO enhances communication, motivation, and performance, making it a powerful tool for sports managers aiming to achieve strategic objectives. Total Quality Management, or TQM, pioneered by W. Edward Deming, emphasizes continuous improvement and quality across all levels of an organization. Originally transforming Japan's post-World War II manufacturing industry, Deming's principles remain relevant today and are highly adaptable to industries like sports management. So some key applications towards sports management: the continuous improvement, focusing on our coaching strategies, fan experiences, event management, leadership. You want to empower coaches, staff, and athletes to achieve excellence, emphasizing teamwork and collaboration across the realm. Quality from the start, so integrating quality into processes such as strategic planning, injury prevention programs, breaking down barriers. You want to promote communication and coordination between departments like event management and security, ticketing. You want to eliminate quotas, so prioritize qualitative outcomes like teamwork and skill development over arbitrary numerical goals. Deming's 14 points for quality management provide a strategic framework for fostering a culture of excellence in sports organization, ensuring sustained performance and innovation. Okay, so now we're going to switch from process theories to more of people theories and theorists. Here we go. Robert Owen was a Welsh social reformer and a pioneer of utopian socialism. His vision extended beyond labor reform to creating cooperative societies where workers and employers could thrive. Managing the new Lanark cotton mill in Scotland, Owen implemented groundbreaking changes in working conditions and education, which became a model for progressive management practices. So he had a holistic approach to development. He emphasized balancing labor, leisure, and rest with his famous slogan of 8 hours labor, 8 hours recreation, 8 hours rest. And so with that, if we look at that in terms of sport management, creating training schedules that balance intense physical activity with recovery and personal growth for athletes, but also for our workers. Typically on game day, those are long days. So giving them balance throughout the week and giving them time flex schedules so that they can come in a little bit later on the day after the game, if possible, or later in the week. Owen also introduced schools for workers and children, emphasizing education as a tool for empowerment. So with this, focusing on career development with your management staff, as well as mental health and life after their career even. So their retirement is something that's very important. Fair wages and conditions. So by improving work conditions and ensuring fair wages, Owen demonstrated that treating workers well enhances productivity. You want to advocate for equitable compensation with your staff and ensure access to safe, high quality environments. The elimination of the truck system was one of Robert Owen's notable labor reforms, which has implications for modern sport management practices as well. And so the truck system was a practice where workers were paid not in money, but in goods or credit redeemable only at company-owned stores. This often left them with overpriced goods, limited financial autonomy, and exploitive conditions. Owen advocated for fair monetary wages, ensuring that workers were compensated transparently and equitably for their labor. At New Lanark, he ended the truck system, allowing workers greater financial freedom and economic dignity. So just as Owen opposed the exploitative truck system, sport managers must ensure that our staff are paid fairly, transparently, and without undue restrictions. And in the case of players themselves, limiting endorsement deals or undercompensating players relative to revenue generation. And so with that, his reforms also underline the importance of empowering workers with financial freedom. And so by offering financial literacy programs with your sport management staff and helping them manage earnings effectively during and after their careers is something that's important. Transparent contracting practices. So emphasis on fairness and transparency can inspire sport managers to advocate for clear, equitable contracts that avoid exploitive terms and ensure that everybody understands their rights and entitlements. And so his reforms offer a framework for ethical practices in our sport management world, emphasizing respect for labor and long-term well-being. Elton Mayo, an Australian psychologist, conducted the influential Hawthorne studies in the 1920s and 30s at Western Electric's Illinois factory, initially investigating how physical factors like lighting influence productivity. Mayo found that performance improved simply because workers felt observed and valued, a phenomenon known as the Hawthorne effect. He concluded that social and psychological factors such as recognition and team dynamics were just as important as physical conditions in motivating performance. So individual attention is something that's really important. Workers can thrive when managers recognize the workers' needs and provide personalized support. Team dynamics, so strong team cohesion and collaboration and interpersonal relationships boost group performance. Recognition and feedback, acknowledging effort and offering constructive feedback motivates workers to excel. These principles shape modern approaches like worker engagement programs and leadership development, as well as team building exercises. Now, it's not without its critiques and limitations. The studies lacked rigorous controls, making conclusions less definitive. And while attention helps, performance depends on multiple factors, including skill development, training quality, and mental preparation. As far as insights drawn from factory settings, they may not necessarily apply to our sport management world. But these studies underscore the importance of understanding human behavior and team as well as individual performance. Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a motivational theory that identifies 5 levels of human needs arranged in a pyramid. These levels starting with the most basic needs that must be satisfied sequentially to enable personal growth and self-actualization. So the 5 levels of Maslow's hierarchy starts with physiological needs. These are basic requirements for survival, including food, water, sleep, and shelter. It's important that our workers make sure that they have adequate housing and that they have food and that they are taken care of. The safety needs, so protection from harm, physical safety and financial security, as well as access to health care. And the world of sports, creating a safe work environment and providing resources for wellness resources for our workers, making sure that they have a stable job and financial security is important. With that, retirement accounts and health benefits. Love, belonging, and needs. This is building social relationships and a sense of belonging through family, friendships, and community. So fostering a family culture with your work organization so that the workers feel supported and valued. Organizing team building activities and encouraging camaraderie and providing emotional support. Esteem needs. This is about recognition and respect as well as self-confidence. So celebrating individual and team achievements, offering leadership opportunities, and building confidence through constructive feedback. Awarding, giving awards to those who are working diligently, and promotion within the ranks is important as well. Self-actualization, achieving personal growth and realizing potential growth and pursuing purpose. So this would be supporting them in setting and achieving long-term goals and enhancing their skills and contributing to their communities. So it could be paying for your workers to go to conferences and things along that line. So first you have to address the basic needs and then moving on up the scale and making sure that workers are feel like they are working at their full capacity, that they are actually they're understanding that they are that they're able to utilize their creativity and problem solving, and is really important. Douglas McGregor's theories, Theory X and Theory Y, often contrasting views on employee motivation, which are foundational and effective leadership and management, including in sports management. Theory X assumes employees dislike work and avoid responsibility and need to be controlled. Managers applying Theory X believe in strict supervision and limited autonomy, and a focus on external rewards like money. Theory Y, on the other hand, assumes employees are self-motivated, enjoy responsibility, and seek personal growth. Managers who adopt Theory Y empower employees and foster autonomy, collaboration, and internal motivation. And sports management, Theory X may result in micromanagement, limiting worker autonomy, while Theory Y encourages worker empowerment and teamwork and self-direction, leading to better motivation and performance. Theory Y is often more effective in general, where trust in a positive team culture enhances outcomes. Criticism of both theories includes oversimplification and cultural differences in motivational drivers. Frederick Herzberg's motivator hygiene theory, developed in the 1950s, explains the factors influencing employee motivation and job satisfaction. Herzberg identified two categories: motivators, which are satisfiers, and hygiene factors, which are dissatisfiers. Motivators are intrinsic factors that lead to job satisfaction and motivation, such as challenging work, you're engaging in tasks that stimulate skills; meaningful work, which are tasks that contribute to a greater purpose; and recognition, acknowledging an employee's value and importance. Whereas hygiene factors prevent that dissatisfaction but don't inherently increase satisfaction. These extrinsic factors are related to the work environment, including pay and benefits. So fair compensation and essential benefits. The work conditions and safe, clean, and supportive environment. The relationships, our positive interactions with coworkers and supervisors. And sports management motivators could be used by those in management to set challenges and create meaningful goals and recognize individual contributions, whereas hygiene factors ensure that workers have the necessary resources, fair play, and a positive environment to avoid dissatisfaction. So Hertzberg's theory highlights the importance of not only meeting basic needs of hygiene factors, but also creating an environment that fosters growth and engagement, which are motivators. Criticisms of the theory include its oversimplification and lack of consideration for cultural and individual differences in motivation. Victor Vroom's expectancy theory focuses on how individuals are motivated based on the expected outcomes of their behavior. The theory suggests that motivation is a result of a decision-making process where people assess the likelihood that their efforts will lead to a successful performance and rewards they value. So key components of the expectancy theory are expectancy, the belief that effort will lead to a desired outcome. You're putting in more work, and thus you're expecting an improved performance on the other side of things. So you're hoping to be rewarded monetarily or down the road. Instrumentality, the belief that achieving the desired performance will result in a specific reward. So again, a worker believes that performing well will lead to rewards like a promotion or recognition of a reward or maybe more money in the paycheck. Valence is the value the individual places on the reward. So a worker may highly value, a reward, an award of some kind, or promotion, career advancement, something that motivates them to perform well. So in theory, motivation equals expectancy times instrumentality times valence. The stronger the belief in each component, the higher the motivation. And so with that, as managers, we can help workers understand that their effort in putting in the time will lead to improved performance and hopefully will result in awards or promotions, recognition of some kind. And it's hopefully something that they value. It's that personal satisfaction, if you will. Emotional intelligence, developed by Daniel Goleman, is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage emotions in oneself and others. And sports management, EI, is crucial for leadership, team dynamics, and effective communication, for relationship building, decision making, and team leadership. Emotional intelligence, or EI, enhances social effectiveness, managing our relationships, communication, and collaboration. So 5 EI constructs are self-awareness, recognizing your own emotions, which are vital for empathetic leadership. Self-regulation, which is controlling disruptive emotions and helps to make rational decisions under pressure. Your social skills, managing relationships, key for motivating and resolving conflicts. And empathy, understanding others' emotions, strengthens our connections and support. And motivation, so harnessing emotions to achieve goals inspires our performance. And really, these are important, not just in the sport management world, but in our own relationships. So emotional intelligence helps us in managing stress, frustration, and disengagement, and can help us in identifying personal issues that might be affecting performance and providing tailored support for a worker that's really struggling. In the case where a worker is withdrawn, instead of criticizing them, you can be empathetic to them and try to address the emotional issue, boosting their motivation and hopefully their performance. Leaders with EI create supportive environments and remain composed in high-pressured moments, communicate effectively, and resolve conflicts to maintain that cohesion that's important in the work environment. In conclusion, management can be defined as the process of organizing and utilizing people and limited resources to achieve specific goals and objectives. So by combining the process and people elements of this definition with a facility or place, the 3P model of facility management takes form. And so throughout this text and semester, we'll be looking at different facility and event management topics. And when thinking about these topics, it's important to remember the basic managerial principles discussed in this chapter and how they can be specifically applied to each topic. And I want you to start thinking as a facility and event manager. Think of how to best plan, organize, implement, and control situations in specific facilities. That is all that I have for you today. I look forward to talking with you again. Have a great day.